What scares you most about money? Well, welcome in. How often have you realized that the road to success begins with failure, but you learn so much from it? It's never fun going through it. But later on, you kind of say, that was not so bad after all. I mean, go ahead, be brave. We're going to talk about making risky money choices and life decisions in a positive way. Now, this may sound intriguing and scary at the same time, and that's good. And we have a special bonus section with 5 key questions to ask yourself on your road to being money brave. Gene Siskel, the famous PBS movie critic and Coro Foundation fellow, told me one of his professors, John Hershey, a famous author, challenged Gene and his fellow students to try something they might fail at, just to imagine it. Think about it. He was trying to say the process of failure recovery will not be as bad as you imagine, and you're going to learn so much from it. Here's a famous Hershey quote: "Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education." I once heard Sarah Blakely, the creator of Spanx, talk about her entrepreneurial journey. When asked how a budding entrepreneur would know what idea for product or service to work on, without hesitating, Sarah said, "Work on the thing that makes you cry." Wow, that took me back. And I think you could apply that notion to artistic expression, political and faith-based movements, even community and national service, even international service projects. Think of the Peace Corps' motto, "The hardest job you'll ever love." Or the Navy SEALs, "The only easy day was yesterday." You're watching What's Next with Money, a program with smart insights to guide your financial decisions. So what does all this have to do with money? Scary jobs or projects or missions can mean uncertain, lost income, or financial insecurity. Some challenging life choices mean you have to finance, borrow, invest, and or save for yourself. We all know certain college and training courses and experiential learning, travel, lived experiences come with costs or loans, or they come with so little money you can barely support yourself. Scary choices may involve investing in stocks, real estate, bonds, commodities, and options, all depending on your training, experience, levels of reserves, levels of debt or leverage, your time frame, and why you're investing in the first place, your motives. But more importantly, your ability to control your emotions and reactions to scary market events. Then there's starting a business or launching an artistic or creative endeavor. This is big time stuff. We're talking on-the-job learning or volunteering just to get somebody to mentor you. And it may mean no money. Any business startup will come with costs you have to pay and ongoing support from a spouse or partner, and the sale or income from a prior business perhaps or a property. Now we're coming up on our 5 key bonus questions to up your money and career courage. But first, let me tell you a story. A series of mini stories. Here are a few things that scared me, but through all these, I learned to have some savings and some income, even if it was part-time income, if that was possible, to lower risk and keep me calm and focused on the challenge. And early in my career, I had few family responsibilities. So here's the first one. In my senior year of college, I applied for a National Public Affairs graduate fellowship, kind of as a diversion from a planned law school pathway. So I went through a grueling regional and national final selection process. And success! I was awarded a year-long Coro Public Affairs Fellowship. Now, this is the same Coro Foundation program and fellowship that movie critic Gene Siskel did. He's an alum of the program. So that was a success. Next, I started a social enterprise. This was not achieved, but the concept I picked several years later became a reality. And like all failures, I learned a lot, but it was a failure. Number 3, I pitched a Disney Imagineering project proposal and applied for a special internship experience. Now, this pitch took a year of review to get accepted by Disney. Success. It worked. And this gentleman, Marty Sklar, who's written several books and was Walt Disney's right-hand man in the creation of Disneyland, he was the communications guy, and for Epcot was the guy that hired me to do this. And so, like all Disney people, I have some commemorations of that. So it was a success, and I learned so much from that. So here's number 4. I moved with my family nearly 1,200 miles to a new area to take a job with no benefits, a smaller salary in a new field, plus leaving an unsold house, and it took 10 months to sell with no renters. That was a success. This risky move laid a new career foundation and opened up many opportunities in the Denver area. Number 5. With partners, I created and marketed a game called Trivia Express. It failed. Number 6, I got a mid-career master's degree in a new field when I was 50. Actually, I got a degree and a certificate. It was a success. It took 2 years. I worked full-time while I was doing this. Age vanished, and we worked as a team cohort for those 2 years. It was so fun and exciting. Number 7, I bought Chipotle stock. I live in Denver. I followed the company. I bought Chipotle stock on its first day of issue. That's a success. But wait, there's more to that story. Number 8, I was defrauded by a developer when my wife and I bought 4 lots to build duplexes and to get into residential real estate as a business, a new income source. Well, with these 4 lots came 2 loans to finance construction of those duplexes. And guess what? That construction never happened. No dirt was ever turned. Now, this ex-developer is now serving a 100-plus year sentence in prison. I filed several bankruptcy claims against his former company, and I got maybe 15 to 20 cents on the dollar back. But we lost a lot of money. This is a failure. I got defrauded, but wait, there's more. Number 9, later, I paid off hundreds of thousands of dollars in meaningless construction loans using the now appreciated Chipotle stock I bought on the first day of issue. Success. But sure, I was mad, but I had the money to pay off these obligations. I paid those loans back in full. And incidentally, the bank that held those loans later failed in the Great Recession. This was the time I was buying and looking to buy real estate. So it's kind of a good time to buy real estate. And the FDIC had to take over the bank. But hey, no bailout for us. We paid all those loans and no taxpayer was ever hurt. Number 10, the good story is from all that fraud, all those phantom debt repayments for nothing, we built a successful rental real estate development and business over 8 years. After all the above happened, it was failure to a success. Number 11, I've been able to chair government boards on the city, state, and federal level. Success. Again, these are risky moves. These were daring positions to hold and some very controversial issues that we handled and managed. And number 12, I campaigned and ran for a city council seat. I failed. Here's a campaign poster. I lost by 60 votes, but I learned a lot, made many new friends, and I would do it again, but have no active plans to do it again. Number 13, I started this YouTube channel from scratch, success, and I thank you for watching. So, how does it tally up? these are some scary successes and failures. I've just presented 9 successes and 4 failures. All the failures had many lessons learned. Now, back to personal finance. Many of you might find my investing choices and decisions aggressive, but I gained knowledge in my portfolio and net worth grew. This level of risk for me seems prudent. It calms me. It's right in my wheelhouse. I'm a long-term wealth builder with reserves and good debt management over time, but we have borrowed to build our assets and our businesses. But I have the scars and the former fits of panic and literal whining to prove that I was not always happy when I experienced market and money shocks, and certainly the fraud that we experience. Now I know much better and how to ride out and profit from these downturns and even those frauds. And you can find more at my video on financial shocks. Plus, I'm a constant student of personal finance and investing and learn new things each day, much of which I share on this channel for you. Now, I'm not going to list the handful of decisions where I didn't take the hard road or scary choice. There aren't many of these, but even today, this is kind of a sad part of my life. I would label some of those roads not taken as regrets. And I talk about a few. I'm not going to do it on this video, but in other What's Next with Money videos. Now, if you're getting value from this video, be sure to hit that subscribe, smash that like button. It moves our content to more folks, and it's free. But what scares you most about money or big life decisions? Here's a list. It could be investing, buying a house. You got the credit score, credit record issues. You could have the wrong insurance or being underinsured. You could be financially disorganized or unclear on your next steps. You might be arguing with a spouse about money or a big decision, even a career decision. You've got to be supporting kids in their education, thinking about that. You might be considering moving. That's a burden and a risk and a disruption, but it may be the right thing to do. You could be wanting to switch fields. Also risky, but it could be the right way to move up in another way. You could be caring for aging or health impaired relatives. You might be needing to get more education and training, and that might mean time, weekend time, evening time, student loans. There might be uncertainty about your current job or your spouse's job. It's the company, its finances, its market position. Prospects for layoffs or advancement might not be that great. You might need to take a lateral or even a vertical leap or exit that firm. Are you getting financial advice you can trust? Do you need to change advisors? What about events and trends in the news? How's that going to affect your goals and outlook and your level of risk? What about money and marriage? Now, here's the bonus. As a recent 2023 Wall Street Journal article on big decisions that are scary by Rachel Feinstein said, and I've added some for this bonus section beyond what she has. So how can we incorporate all this in life decisions? So here are the 5 suggestions. First one's real simple. Number 1, take a breath. Take a breath. 2, think about the consequences and the first and second order effects of such a scary decision. The challenge and discomfort can be a gateway to get you closer to your goals. Number 3, not choosing to make a choice is a choice. It could mean that you're staying where you are. And if you are staying where you are, it may not be the best decision. Check this out. Don't avoid the unknown from a place that you hate. Don't avoid the unknown from a place that you hate. Number 4, let's try a drill reminiscent of author John Hershey. When facing the possibility of failure, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen, and then work backwards. How would you recover from that worst thing? What is that plan B? And number 5, don't forget the advice of Warren Buffett. Yes, write your own obituary and then reverse engineer it, but also try to live up to it. So that's our bonus section. And Mellody Hobson is Ariel Capital Management co-CEO and board chair of Starbucks. She's also part owner of the Denver Broncos, and she's a professional acquaintance. She talks about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. and her beautiful TED Talk video, Colorblind or Color Brave. She talks about diversity and inclusion. And we're going to have a link to that. And I just want to admonish folks watching, people in America who happen to be minorities often have to operate in majority spaces. I often thought, since I was a teen interested in civil rights in the Mid-South and living near historic Underground Railroad sites, it was important for me to have exposure and regular experiences for me as a white guy being a minority in predominantly minority spaces. Now, I have accelerated this throughout my life with focus and intentionality. At work, community involvement, professional and business settings, political settings, social reform and civil rights settings that I've worked on, and even faith-based. This has enriched my life and life choices and that of our family. The more I do things that are unfamiliar and feel uncomfortable, the more life and money brave I become. And you can as well to that future you've only dreamed of. So do something that scares you with money and in life. And be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. And don't forget to share. I'm Brent Neiser, looking to see you next time on What's Next with Money.